Hello friends, I'm past district chairman Dr. Sandhya Bhatt, and as a part of the Seize Cervical campaign, which is a flagship aim of our international intervened president Mamta Gupta to globally vaccinate about 10 million girls. So what is exactly this cervical cancer and how it can be prevented? So to more know about this, I welcome Dr. Prasad Kamath. Good afternoon, sir. Dr. Prasad Kamath has been an associate professor in the Department of Gynecology, Lokmanya Tilak Municipal Memorial Hospital, Siam, and is now a private consultant attached to many hospitals in the suburbs in Mumbai. Sir has vast areas of interest which includes oncology, gynec-oncology, laparoscopy, and infertility. We will know more about this deadly disease and the vaccination from Dr. Prasad Kamath.
Thank you, Sandhya, for those kind words. To begin with, let me thank Mamta Gupta Madam and Innerville for starting such a wonderful initiative of vaccinating 10 lakh.
10 million.
10 millions. That's a big amount globally. It's a very, very noble idea. So let me tell you why it is so. We all speak about cancer. We are all scared about cancer. But it's so fantastic to know that there's one cancer in this world which can be entirely prevented, and that is cervical cancer. If you understand why it starts and how to block it, one cancer in a woman will be eliminated from her life. And in that respect, this is a very noble goal. Thank you.
We thank our international president for taking this initiative. Sir, can you just give us one line or some introduction about this cervical cancer?
See.
Sir, you were just telling that this cervical cancer is preventable. So, what exactly is the cause of this cervical cancer?
So to understand that, you need to understand what exactly we mean by cancer. Cancer is an uncontrolled growth of body cells in any organ. In a woman, the organ has a special part called cervix, which is actually the entry of the womb from the vagina, which carries the sperms and brings out the baby. In this part, in the childhood stage, before a girl comes of age, it's very silent. But when she comes of age at around about 14, 15, 16 years, they develop certain activities. So the cells start multiplying. And exactly when more cells start multiplying, they are more prone to developing some abnormalities. And at this age, if a girl starts indulging in sexual activity, she has a high chance of getting infected with certain types of viruses. And one type of virus, which is called human papilloma virus, which has got more than 50 types of strains. Strains are different types, like what we call different types of people staying in India, from North Indian, South Indian, West Indian. Like they are type of strains of the virus. But ultimately, we are all Indians. Like all viruses, human papilloma virus. This virus, when it infects the young girl for the first time, it goes and stays in the cells of those mouth of the uterus called cervix. Not all women will get cervical cancer. Most of the time, it is cleared off because of the vaccine, not the vaccine, the immunity, the natural immunity in the human body clears off the virus. But in a certain small amount of girls or women who lack in immunity or whose nutrition is poor or the body is not reacting well to the viruses, external infections, the virus stays back. And this virus that stays back and that not cleared from the body will make the cells of the cervix to grow uncontrolled. And that is when the cells slowly transform into something called as cancer. Even this cancer is not developed overnight. It has got many stages. It's called pre-cancer stage, cancer in the stage 0, cancer first stage, second stage, third stage. And only in the late advanced stages of cancer, which is not curable, and it leads to a lot of disability, and the patient has a very, very bad life, and ultimately mortality is very high in the advanced stage of cancer. But the good news is that this virus can be controlled by vaccinating girls these days. What does the vaccine do? It builds up the natural immunity of a girl. against this virus. And whenever the girl gets infected or comes in contact with the virus through sexual contact, the body will react and clear the virus from the body. So her chance of having a virus staying back in the cells is very, very less. So that is why we, as gynecologists, have started encouraging parents of young girls to get them vaccinated. Now, when should we start vaccinating?
Yes, sir. Please do give information.
So that is the most crucial point in this whole topic. If a girl is to be vaccinated at 30 years, or is she to be vaccinated at the age just when she starts developing puberty? That is the question in most parents'
Correct. Yes.
minds, especially in a society like India, where sexual activity is not so well looked upon before marriage. Though, and it's not that she's going to enter sexual activity immediately. Very fact that you have to immunize the girl at the age 14 and 16 years, from 9 to 14, that's what they say, is because when you give this vaccine at this age, this is the very age when the cervical cells are getting developed. And the immunogenicity, it's called immunogenicity, the immune reaction in the body is the maximum when the vaccine is given at this age. So that is the reason why we suggest them to give it at the time of puberty. Whenever she enters puberty, that is the time you give. Not when she just before marriage. Why? But by any chance you miss giving it, it is always safer to give it just before her first sexual activity, which really we can't predict when they will be having. So at least before marriage, we need to give. So if you miss that period of the puberty and the girl enters marriage, should we not give the vaccine? Yes, but there are certain criteria. We are supposed to check whether she has already caught an infection.
Right.
If she has already caught an infection by doing a simple pap smear test with DNA analysis or HPA, and she has already got DNA infection, there is no role of giving vaccine, because she must have already developed that infection, so that will not be prevented. But if she is DNA negative, even after marriage, please do make it a point to give a vaccine. The third is, whether do we give it for a elderly person at age of 50?
That is what the
Why not to give? The reason is, the virus, once it infects you, the lady, it will take another 20 to 30 years to develop cervical cancer. So there is actually no role at the age of 40 to after 40 to give vaccine, because it will take another 30 years for the virus to develop, and that vaccine will prevent infection only for 9 to 10 years. So there is no role for giving in elderly. So the ideal age is we catch before first sexual activity, especially in a girl who is entering puberty. If not, just before her marriage or just before she enters her teens and 20s.
Sir, we would like to know the dosage of this vaccine. The schedule.
Presently, there are only there used to be 2 companies which were manufacturing HPV vaccine. Now there is only one company, Gardasil by the name. But this vaccine has got 2 types. Gardasil cervical vaccine of Cervirex used to have protective against only cervical cancer. The Gardasil vaccine has strains which not only protect you against cancer of the cervix, but it also prevents certain other types of genital infection called genital warts. Because it covers almost 4 to 5 strains in the Gardasil, older Gardasil vaccine. A newer Gardasil vaccine has come in the market called Gardasil 9, which prevents against 9 types of cervical vaccine, HPV strains of HPV viruses. Those who the older vaccine is little bit cheaper, 2 injections, 2,000 rupees per dose of injection. The dose of both are the same. You have to give it, the first day that you give is called 0 day. From that day, the second dose is given after 2 months, and the third dose is given after 6 months. So 3 vaccines as scheduled, 0, 2 and 6. Gardasil 9 is the same. It is again 0, 2 and 6. but the cost goes up because there are 9 strains of HPV viruses that are covered. So each dose will cost you 9,000 rupees. So the total cost of the whole therapy also goes up. But those who can afford, definitely Gardasil 9 is a better vaccine, and both vaccines will prevent infections for next 6 to 10 years. Do you need to give a second dose? That is not yet scientifically been proven, but at least the first schedule has to be completed for most of the girls. What is the advantage? It not only prevents cervical cancer, it also prevents HPV infections in other parts of the body, like oral cancer, oropharyngeal cancer, genital warts, any other type, anywhere. I think even dermatologists have started giving it for plantar warts.
Plantar warts.
So wherever the HPV infection has a role of creating infection, it can be used. And another interesting point, because it's a sexually contactable disease, you may ask, why not give it for the male partner? That is again another area of scientific research. People are giving it off label for boys to prevent from getting penile cancers and all, but it is officially not recommended for boys as a HPV infection.
I think
Now, when you give a vaccine, most of the questions are, what are the side effects?
yes, we'd like to know that.
That is what most of are scared. There are no significant side effects like anything that is life-threatening. Some local irritation, pain, swelling. Occasional patient may have fever for 1 or 2 days, but generally speaking, it's not a very dangerous vaccine. You can call it a very safe vaccine for the amount of benefits that you are gaining out of it.
Correct.
Only thing that has to be done is to sell out some money for your
Yes.
future protection of your loved and dear girl child.
Yes. I think Dr. Prasad Kamath has given us a wonderfully, a brief thing. Normally everyone goes to Google and does all these things, but you're hearing all the information right from an expert. So friends, it is my humble request to each and every one, Inner Wheel member, to protect your loved ones and motivate each one of them and be a part of this flagship project of our dear International Inner Wheel President Mamta Gupta. We thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Kamath.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity, and I'd like to give a message that love your girl child and protect your girl child.
Yes, wonderful message, Dr. Kamath. Thank you so much.